Lesson 5.6 is on comparing unit rates. So we can go ahead and look at this on 289. Rick and Nikki own remote control cars. They use a stopwatch to record the speed of each car, whose car is faster. So they've got some numbers on the table here. They didn't have to put it on a table for us, but they did. So if you want to go off the table, find some numbers that you think would convince someone of which one's going faster, you can. Or if you want to do this off to the side on your own, either way was fine. So there's a few different options we have. There's actually quite a few options for doing this problem. One option would be for Rick's car. We could find a unit rate. In other words, this is for 30 seconds. If we divide by 30, we could figure out how far it goes in 1 second or how far it goes per second. So 30 divided by 30 is 1. 150 divided by 30 is 5. So it goes 5 feet every second. Then if we look at Nikki's car, we can do the same thing. So for Nikki's car, if we divide both of those by 20, 20 divided by 20 is 1. 80 divided by 20 is 4. So it goes 4 feet every second. Well, if we think about it, 5 feet every second or 4 feet every second, we know Rick's car is going faster because it's going a further distance in the same amount of time. Okay? This would be one option for doing this problem. Another option, if you look at 30 and 20, think about if those were denominators. 20 and 30 were denominators. Our common denominator would be 60. So we can actually multiply these until we get to 60. So the first one, you could multiply both of those by 2, and that would mean 300 feet in 60 seconds. The second one, 20 times 3 is 60. And if we do 80 times 3, that would be 240. So 300 feet in 60 seconds or 240 feet in 60 seconds, again, is showing that Rick's car is going a further distance in the same amount of time, so Rick's car is faster. And understand, you don't have to do both of those ways. One or the other would be sufficient in order to find the answer for that problem. So if we look at example 1, Ethan swam 11 laps in the pool in 8 minutes. Austin swam 7 laps in the same pool in 5 minutes. Which boy swam at a faster rate? So you can see they've got the numbers here again by the picture. We don't really need to see it again. You can just do your underlining as you're working the problem to keep track of things. So to figure out the rate that they're going, there's 2 different ways we could divide this out. We could do laps per minute or we could do minutes per lap. A lot of times when you divide it out, one way is going to sound more familiar to you. So in this case, laps per minute is probably going to sound more familiar. That's probably going to be the way that we're going to want to work this problem out. So if we work this out, if we do 11 divided by 8, you can just divide that out. Again, potentially, if we're allowed to use calculators to make that a little quicker, if you divide 11 by 8, you'll get 1 in 375 thousandths. So 1.375 laps per minute. We can do the same thing for Austin. If you take 7 divided by 5, you get 1 in 4/10. So 1.4 laps per minute. So sometimes people look at these numbers and they look at it and they think, oh, 1.375, there's more numbers, that must be the bigger number. With decimals, we got to look at place value position. So when I've got 1 in 375 thousandths and I've got 1 in 4/10, if I line my decimals up, that's a good way for comparing which one's bigger and smaller. Remember, with decimal numbers at the end, we can add what? Right, we can add zeros. And so if we add some zeros here, now we can compare, if we get them both to thousandths, 1 and 375 thousandths versus 1 and 400 thousandths. Now you can see 400 is more than 375 if you need to get it in those terms. Otherwise, you know, if you just look and say the ones are both the same, 4 is more than 3, and that's in the next highest place value position. Whatever you need to do to tell that Austin's swimming at the faster rate here. If you did it the other way around, if you did minutes per lap, how many minutes does it take you per lap? You actually would want the smaller number, because less minutes for every lap means you're faster. If it takes me 1 minute per lap versus 2 minutes per lap, 1 minute per lap's faster. Okay, so you could technically do it either way. This way is going to be maybe more familiar to you. So on the try it, Ashley is Austin's older sister. She trains in the same pool and can swim 9 laps in 6 minutes. Is Ashley a faster swimmer than Austin? So they've kind of got it set up for us here already. We're doing the laps divided by the minutes. When you do these, it's probably not a bad idea to put your units next to your numbers so you can keep track of what it is that you're figuring out here. So we want to get our unit right here. So we're going to divide both of these by 6. We know 6 divided by 6 is 1. 9 divided by 6, depending if you do that by hand or a calculator. If you do it on a calculator, you should get 1 5/10, 1.5. If you do it by hand, you might just stop and do a fraction and get 1 1/2. Okay, same thing, 1 1/2, 1.5 laps per minute. And if we compare that to our others, remember we're just comparing really to Austin here. So Austin was 1 4/10. 1 5/10 is more. 1 5/10 is more than 1 4/10. So, you know, to finish this out, we could say because 1.5 is greater than 1.4, Ashley is a faster swimmer than Austin. Example 2. Is the lunch special or the weekend special a better value? Find the unit price of each special. So unit price is a unit rate that gives the price of one item. So in this case, we're looking at how much does it cost per taco. Cost per taco is what we're looking at, not taco per cost. Okay? Again, usually one way will sound more correct to you. So when it says 3 tacos for $2.40, don't just say, I'm going to do it in whatever order they give me the numbers. I'm going to take 3 divided by $2.40. Okay? We want the price per taco. We need to do the price divided by how many tacos. So $2.40 divided by 3. If you divide that out, if you do that on your calculator, you get 8/10. Okay? Probably if you're at a store, if you're looking at the menu at this restaurant, it's probably not going to say that as the price. With money, usually we have a 100th spot, so we'll add a 0 on, and we'll say that that's 80 cents per taco. 80 cents per taco, okay? The other one, 340 divided by 4, you get 85/100ths, which means 85 cents per taco. All right, so lunch special was 80 cents a taco. Weekend special is 85 cents a taco. You know 80 is less than 85, so the lunch special is the better value. Okay, unit rate is unit price is a very valuable thing to know. Okay, like when you're at the store and figuring out which Kleenexes are cheaper, which toilet paper are cheaper. For some reason, those two things, they always have like a different amount of Kleenexes in each box. This one's got 3 in it. This one's got 6 boxes in it. Okay, the toilet paper, they've got different size rolls, and then they have different number of rolls in each thing. Okay. Anyway, if you want to figure out the better deal, it's about unit price. The try it. Explain how to decide which is the better value: 4 greeting cards for $10 or 6 greeting cards for $14. Sometimes when you're doing these problems, if you wanted to, you could try to get them to be the same number of cards. The quicker thing probably besides that is just figuring out how much does it cost per card, right? Find the unit price. So $10 for 4 cards. We've got $14 for 6 cards. So if you divide that, you get 2.5 or 2.5 over 1. Remember, when we're talking about money stuff here, we'll go ahead and tack a 0 on the end. So that means $2.50 per 1 card, or $2.50 per card for that first group. So on our second group, if we divide those, actually the decimal just keeps going. If we think of, let's divide both of those by 6 to figure out what 1 card is. The 3's just keep going. We're going to round it off. So we'll say that's about $2.33 per card. The question is, which one's the better value? So we could say the second group is a better value because $2.33 per card is less than $2.50 per card. The other option would be we could figure out how much 12 cards costs, because 4 and 6 both go into 12 evenly. So that would be 12 cards for $30. The second option would be $28 for 12 cards. So, you know, we're getting the same amount of cards, $2 less for the 12 cards. So we know that second group would be cheaper that way also.